Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand as we hear our national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the College of Environmental Design's 2003 Commencement Exercises. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the college, I offer congratulations to our graduates and a special welcome to the family and friends who join us here today. Many people worked hard for you to reach Commencement Day. The faculty who pass the torch of enthusiasm for knowledge and who develop your ability to perform as professionals in your discipline. The staff who provide ongoing support for learning, and the many professionals and community members who give their time and energy to make the college even stronger. Let us recognize them. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce the distinguished members of the Platform Party. I ask that each of them acknowledge the audience as I read their names, but please hold your applause until they have been introduced. Dr. Bob H. Suzuki, President of the California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. Mr. Ed Tessier, our commencement speaker. Dr. Tomas Morales, Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs. Ms. Patricia Ferris, Vice President for Administrative Affairs. Dr. Michael Berman, Vice President for Instructional and Informational Technology. Ms. Noelle Vernon, Associate Dean. Mr. Philip Pragle, the representative from the Academic Senate. Jackson Z., our outstanding student and scholar. And Mabel Chung, our senior class representative. Thank you all very much. I would now like to call on President Suzuki for his welcome and introductory remarks. President Suzuki.
Good afternoon. It's great to see all of you here. And it's a pleasure for me to join Dean Wilson in welcoming all of you, our graduates and your parents, families, and friends on this most happy occasion. My heartiest congratulations to all of you who are graduating today, as well as those who supported you in reaching this most significant milestone in your lives. I want to wish all of you the very best as you leave this university. During my 12 years at Cal Poly Pomona, I have participated in more than 100 separate commencement ceremonies and shaken the hands of over 30,000 graduates. As strenuous as that has been, I would gladly do it over again because the graduation of our students is what this university is all about. For those of you who are faculty, staff, and administrators, there is nothing more fulfilling and gratifying than seeing our students graduate, because reaching this milestone will indeed transform their lives. Graduates, during your stay here, the university's most important task has not been to educate you, but to teach you how to educate yourself after you leave here. I say that because today and in the foreseeable future, most of you will have to change jobs several times during your career due to the rapid changes taking place in our society. The knowledge and skills you have today will be outdated in about 5 years, and lifelong learning has become a reality for anyone wishing to succeed in their careers. You may view that either as an unfortunate and discouraging state of affairs, or as an opportunity to take on exciting new challenges. I believe the latter point of view may be the only viable choice you have. However, in order to take full advantage of the opportunities that come your way, you must be prepared to adapt to change. Therefore, I have only 2 pieces of advice for you. First, do not view your career choices as being limited by the major in which you earned your degree. If you adopt this mindset, you may be surprised at the number of different jobs you thought you weren't qualified for, but may now think of considering. For example, I have seen engineers become teachers, architects become political leaders, philosophy majors become entrepreneurs, art majors become software engineers, and the list goes on and on. I would encourage you to be prepared to consider a wide range of career options and opportunities, and think of your education at Cal Poly Pomona as only the basic foundation on which you will have to build for the rest of your lives. My second piece of advice is aim high. Too many people have low expectations of the jobs they will be qualified for. A few years ago, the journalist Roger Rosenblatt gave a commencement speech in which he described a number of jobs that graduates might not normally consider. One of these jobs he described as follows, and I quote, President of the United States. This job is often avoided by students because it necessitates living in Washington and has an age requirement. But the position is very worthwhile. Recent grads would make excellent U.S. presidents because they usually are single and can get into less trouble than a married president. The work does not require that one have been a president of some other place like China, and it lasts 8 years at most, after which you'll have plenty of time for golf and dating. Perks include free food, your own seal, and protection by the Secret Service and a loyal staff. End of quote. While he was obviously speaking with tongue-in-cheek, I believe he was absolutely right in encouraging students to think beyond their perceived limitations. Have high expectations of yourself. Sure, you can fail, but failure is often the most valuable learning experience a person can have. Most successful people have been willing to take risks and experience failure, often more than once. The important thing is to learn from your mistakes and grow from that experience to increase your chances of success in the future. During the past several years, our students, faculty, and staff have lifted our university to new heights, earning national and international recognition. This past year, we documented those achievements in one-of-a-kind publication called Chronicle of Excellence. As a special gift to our graduates, parents, family, and friends, I would like to provide you with your own personal copy. They are available at the information booth and highlight what makes Cal Poly Pomona a truly extraordinary place. As you graduate, I am, in a sense, graduating with you. As many of you know, after having the privilege of serving this university for 12 years as president, I will be retiring at the end of July. And like all of you, I will also be undergoing a transition to yet another career because I don't intend to spend the rest of my life in a rocking chair. I'm excited about the new opportunities I'll be able to pursue and the new knowledge and skills I will gain. And I hope all of you have that same feeling, not only now, but for the rest of your lives. Let me conclude by saying that I hope in addition to pursuing your careers, you will also contribute to the betterment of our society. I believe those who are only committed to their personal success will ultimately find their lives quite meaningless, whereas those who are also committed to making a positive difference in the lives of others will, I believe, find much greater satisfaction in the lives they lead. I hope all of you will follow the latter path and try to make a positive difference in the lives of others, even as you pursue your careers. There's a big country out there waiting for you. As that old show business saying goes, break a leg and knock 'em dead. And finally, be successful and make a positive difference. Class of 2003, congratulations and Godspeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments, President Suzuki. Now I would like to introduce the senior class representative from the College of Environmental Design, Ms. Mabel Chung, who will present the senior class gift to President Suzuki. Mabel?
Hi, good afternoon. President Suzuki, Dean Richard Wilson, members of the stage party, distinguished guests, and the fellow members of the class of 2003, it is a tradition at Cal Poly Pomona for the members of the graduating class to leave a gift of everlasting value to the campus and to make it a better place for future students. This year, we continue that tradition. In the very near future, constructions will be completed for the George and Sakaya Aritani Japanese Garden, located at the heart of the busy campus next to CLA building. The garden, which will be dedicated in honor of President and Mrs. Suzuki's 12 years of service to Cal Poly Pomona, will provide a place of calm, rest, and reflection. The traditional Japanese design incorporates the stunning water fountain leading into a reflective pond. President Suzuki, I am pleased to present to you, on behalf of the class of 2003, our gift, which is the purchase and installation of this fountain. We hope it provides beauty and enjoyment for generations to come. Thank you, Lynn.
I want to get in on this as well, President Suzuki, and I want to express the appreciation of the College of Environmental Design for your leadership in these past 12 years. President Suzuki has supported our college in many ways. Two examples are his support for the Ink and Clay show over the year, which is a fantastic show, and also his leadership in the area of community development, helping us focus in the city of Pomona. So President Suzuki and Agnes, I wish you a rich retirement, and I want to give you a gift for the Japanese garden as a small token of our appreciation.
Thank you very much, Mabel and Dean Wilson. This is truly a wonderful gift from both the college and the students, and one that I'm sure will be greatly enjoyed and appreciated by future generations of our students. I should also mention that the garden was designed by a recently retired faculty member in our Department of Landscape Architecture, Dr. Takeo Uesugi. Yeah. And it's being built by a company whose vice president is one of our alums, Stuart Sperber, who may also be, I think, an alumni of the College of Environmental Design. But it's been a labor of love for both of them, and I think that all of you will enjoy that garden very much. So, class of 2003, College of Environmental Design, thank you very, very much. Sat down too quickly. At this time, I'm pleased to have the privilege of presenting the third annual Julian A. McPhee Honor Award for Student Excellence. Julian McPhee was the founding president of both Cal Poly Pomona and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. He provided more than 35 years of dedicated service to the citizens of California. Because of his visionary leadership and astute negotiating skills, Californians can point with pride to two of the nation's finest universities founded on the educational principle of learn by doing. This special award was thoughtfully funded by an anonymous donor who was a colleague of Julian McPhee and honors a current graduating senior who exhibits excellence in his or her academic endeavors. The honoree from the College of Environmental Design this year is Jackson C. Dean Wilson, please join me in honoring Jackson Z, the recipient of the Julian A. McPhee Honor Award for Student Excellence.
Congratulations, Jackson. This year at Commencement, I have the privilege of recognizing individuals from the college community who have excelled. As I read the name of each recipient, I ask that they join me on stage. First, the student awards. An award is given to a graduating student from each department who is recognized for excellence in performance, design capability, and contributions to the life of the department and the college. All have distinguished themselves as members of our environmental design community. From the Department of Architecture, we are honoring Jason Kim. Jason Kim has won countless competitive scholarships and design awards, including the Mel Ferris AIA California Council Scholarship in 2001-2 and 2 International Student Autodesk Sys Form Z Awards. He has impressed each of his professors with intelligence, talent, and dedication. Along with his academic work, he has tirelessly served the college and department as president of the ENV Council, the student representative on the Dean Search Committee, and is a very active member of AIAS. We expect great things from him in the future, and given his record at Cal Poly Pomona, we know he will exceed our expectations. It is with great pleasure that we honor Jason Kim. From the Department of Art, we are honoring Jackson Z. Jackson Z is a truly exceptional and dedicated student. Most students work hard, achieving 1 degree at a time. Jackson, of his own volition, is pursuing several. Throughout his academic career, Jackson has consistently produced high-quality work, winning the accolades of all of his professors. He has constantly exhibited strong conceptual and illustrative skills. In fact, his 3D illustration won first place in the 2D 3D student show last year. Jackson has always participated fully in critiques and class discussions and is always outspoken about his ideas and recommendations. He is a consummate professional, articulate, talented, and a dedicated person showing initiative and creativity, especially in terms of exploration and image development. It is with great pleasure that we honor Jackson Z. From the Department of Landscape Architecture, we are honoring Ann Leishman. Ann Leishman stands out in her commitment to her coursework. She has constantly challenged faculty and fellow students with questions and astute observations that enrich the learning experience. Ann's work has sustained a consistent thread. She is dedicated to the educational, poetic potential of landscapes. Her design work, whether it be at the regional wildlife corridor scale or the garden scale, is always layered. First, with principles and practices of sustainable design, then with equitable treatment for all people, then with educational goals for underrepresented groups, particularly children. This work has garnered her a near-perfect GPA and an honor award for graduate student work from the American Society of Landscape Architects. Ann is a leader. She is certain to make a lasting contribution to the landscape architecture profession. It is with great pleasure that we honor Ann Leishman. From the Department of Urban and Regional Planning, we are honoring Marla Griffin. Marla is a talented student scholar who has earned the respect of her fellow students for her insightful and focused leadership in student organizations, and that of the faculty for her initiative, intellectual curiosity, and scholarly accomplishments. She has forged relationships with other departments, contributing to the VDL Neutra House historic preservation planning efforts with the Department of Architecture. She has received awards from the Department of Urban and Regional Planning and the Inland Section of the American Planning Association. Marla will be an exceptional practitioner in the field of urban and regional planning It was my pleasure to have her in my class this quarter, and it's with great pleasure that we honor Marla Griffin. Each year, an award is given to an outstanding staff member who has made contributions beyond the normal expectations of their position. For 2003, the award goes to Kathy Morgan. Kathy, could you join me on stage? Kathy Morgan is the Visual Resource Specialist in the ENV Visual Resources Library. She has created an enviable visual resource collection and has led the college in the digital transformation of the collection. In her tenure, the collection has grown from 1,500 to more than 100,000 slides. Working with quiet, personal initiative, Kathy created a resource that is appreciated by college faculty and extends through the CSU through our participation in the Cielo database and an online resource for art and architectural history. Kathy has developed library, archive, and visual resources since her arrival in the college in 1974. She was instrumental in creating the ENV Library and Archive. Her efforts have greatly enhanced teaching, learning, and research in ENV, and we are deeply appreciative of her dedication and professionalism. It is with great pleasure that we honor Kathy Morgan. Each year, an award is also given to an outstanding faculty member. Rarely do outstanding faculty awards come in pairs, but in this case there are two equally deserving and surprised recipients. Assistant Professor Jen Bracey and Assistant Professor Sarah Meyer share the Dean's Award for Outstanding Faculty. Jen and Sarah, could you join me on the stage? Both are faculty members in the art department and have shown exceptional performance in teaching and service, as well as outstanding performance in professional and scholarly activities. Professor Bracey has served as the Art Student Alliance Advisor for the last 2 years. She generated renewed enthusiasm through a series of art activities and competitions and has developed service learning experiences for students. Professor Bracey actively contributed to the department's recent accreditation self-study. Professionally, Jen recently had an article accepted in the Journal of Design Communication. Finally, Jen has produced a series of new artworks and is currently exhibiting in the new University Union Gallery. Professor Meyer was Senior Project Exhibit Coordinator this year, organizing and managing 3 senior show exhibitions. She was also a major contributor to the accreditation process, contributing on a weekly basis to the development and editing of the self-study. She has been instrumental in developing and updating the department's web and motion graphics curriculum, consulting with experts in the field. Professionally, Sarah has been named editor of Design Education in Progress, Process and Methodology. Together, Jen and Sarah have worked to promote the art of bookmaking. Through their collaboration, they organized a 2-day book arts workshop, exposing students to one of the earliest forms of graphic communication. Their well-balanced contributions, collaborative spirit, and initiative bodes well for stellar careers in the College of Environmental Design. It is with great pleasure that we honor Jen Bracey and Sarah Meyer. Ken Nakaba, would you please stand? We would also like to congratulate Ken Nakaba, who was selected as Outstanding Academic Advisor for the college in 2003. While he was recognized earlier at an all-university ceremony, We want to take note of his dedication and work with students today at a time when many of the students he has worked with are present. Congratulations, Ken. It is my privilege to recognize faculty who will be retiring or participating in the early retirement program. Please stand when I call your name. Ming Fung, Bill Adams, Craig Weber, and Linda Sanders. Over the course of their years at Cal Poly Pomona, they've made significant contributions to their disciplines, professions, and students. It is now my pleasure to introduce you to our commencement speaker. In ENV, we continually examine ways of making connections across the disciplines of architecture, art, landscape architecture, and urban and regional planning. Our commitment to learn by doing reinforces the notion that problems and opportunities in the natural and built environment require the combined approaches of our disciplines. With this in mind, Ed Tessier is the ideal person to address us at graduation. Ed is the co-founder of the Pomona Arts Colony, where his pioneering ideas have contributed to the creation of new physical and cultural spaces in downtown Pomona. He recently launched a new urban village development in downtown Ontario and is president and co-founder of the School of Arts and Enterprise, a State of California charter high school. Ed's work demonstrates how one can garner social and political capital and economic resources to produce a vibrant and sustainable community. Ed holds a bachelor's degree in urban sociology from Pomona College, is an instructor in disability policy at Western University for Health Sciences, and lectures frequently regarding cultural development, urban design, and civil rights. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ed Tessier.
I want to thank Richard for that warm introduction, and I also want to thank all of you for giving me a chance to be a part of this beautiful event, and apparently a part of history. According to the parents I met coming up the hill, this is officially the best-looking class Cal Poly has ever graduated. It could even be true. The College of Engineering tonight, I don't think they'd come close. Commencement is one of those milestones in life that can come with all sorts of feelings. On the one hand, there is the excitement of accomplishing so much, of making new plans, of starting the rest of your life. On the other hand, commencement can be a little nerve-wracking too. You are facing all these new responsibilities, starting a career, finding a job, taking regular showers. And you might be thinking, with the economy the way it is right now, this is a scary time to be going out into the real world. And let's face it, it is getting harder and harder every day to make a living at PlayStation 2. And true, the new Red Cross Center is opening up, but at this time there are no plans to buy blood. And the design firms everywhere are struggling. Trust me, Martha Stewart isn't hiring. But before you think things are so bad that you might want to stay on and get another degree, think how graduating now ends things on such a high note. You are heading out into the real world while the new Bronco Student Center still smells good. You will be long gone by the time the new parking fees this fall make cigarette taxes look cheap. And of course, you are getting out of here before the budget cuts get really crazy. You know those high-end Power Mac G4s that we've all been looking for at the computer lab? Well, now we're going to get a bunch of Etch-a-Sketch. And those $10,000 space toilet seats they love over at the NASA Center, well, now they're going to get a roll and directions to a stall over at the Arabian Horse Center. And you know what they call up in Sacramento Arabian horses? They call them cheap parking lot trams. So commencement can be a mixed blessing, but on the whole, I think there is so much to be optimistic about, particularly at the College of Environmental Design. This is one of those rare times when entire disciplines are being reshaped and challenged in dramatically new ways. Each of your fields is undergoing extraordinary change, responding to new technologies, new markets, and whole new paradigms. In architecture and landscape architecture, we are integrating new computer and aided design techniques, working with new building materials, struggling to solve critical environmental and social issues, and hopefully defining a new tradition of responsive and responsible design. In urban and regional planning, we are facing the self-destruction of 50 years of automobile-dominated, sprawling suburban development. Starting yesterday, we must grapple with aging neighborhoods, transit paralysis, air and water pollution, habitat loss, civic disengagement, and on, and somehow still give all of us a new vision of livable, sustainable neighborhoods. In the arts, new technologies are throwing out old economic models that once supported all of the fine arts. Be it animation or painting, graphics or sculptural works, everything. And at the same time, every day it seems that some of those very same technologies are opening up completely novel applications in interpretation, distribution, interactivity that will radically alter how we express the human condition. And then there is this whole emerging field of regenerative studies that is so cutting edge, so bold, so encompassing, and so questioning of our fundamental relationships with the physical world that relatives at Thanksgiving dinner will never understand what the heck you do. With things in such a fluid state, with the entire professional design establishment being transformed, today's economic situation is a blessing in disguise. You cannot be complacent and take a traditional job and expect a traditional career track. Jobs are too competitive, firms and markets are too fleeting. To survive and thrive, you will have to reach beyond your disciplines and be ready to find opportunity where a design perspective can enrich and inform. I have met architects that are designing consumer electronics and furniture. I have worked with landscape architects to design movie sets and themed resorts. I have talked to urban planners that design websites and experimental housing. I have even heard of artists that can read a spreadsheet. It can happen. It is happening. Everything seems possible right now. Just look at my own career path, which echoes some of the flexibility in careers that President Suzuki was talking about earlier. I started out as a disability rights activist. My degree might say urban planning, but I actually majored in picketing and jail time. Now, as a disability rights activist, I battled architectural segregation day in and day out, and accidentally became an early expert in universal design. That ended up making me an architectural consultant, specialized in redesigning the oldest, most inaccessible historic buildings. And there are so many great old buildings that need help, I thought I'd better just buy some myself before they all collapse and redevelop them myself. And hey, if I'm going to be a developer, while I can't just fix up a couple of buildings if everything around them is going to remain a disaster. So working on urban planning became a certain necessity, and I could help reinvent and revitalize whole neighborhoods. And of course, real vibrant neighborhoods are more than just beautiful buildings. They need social infrastructure, cultural resources, civic identity. So I had to launch public art projects, community nonprofits, street fairs, a new school, and so on. Back in the hospital, right after my accident, if I had told my vocational counselor that my career path would look something like that, they would have opened my chart about my broken back and added a notation about brain injury. Seriously, a career in design can make acting look like a nice, predictable job. But that is what is so exciting about the design fields you are entering. Your love of good design, the vision, the collaborations, the aesthetics, the hands-on, living, dynamic results can take you anywhere. And believe me, you are needed everywhere. From the newest third world megalopolis to the little neighborhoods where you grew up, You can change lives and enrich lives. You know, I grew up in Pomona just on the wrong side of the alfalfa fields. And I spent my childhood watching my hometown fall to pieces. Factories closed and stores were boarded up. Friends moved away. Criminals took over whole streets and frat houses moved in. It was a nightmare. It was so draining and so depressing watching something you loved slip away into blight, neglect, and scorn. Well, I'm now spending my professional career being a part of the renaissance of my hometown. And it's because of a bunch of architects and artists and musicians and educators, all of whom thought outside the box and turned an abandoned downtown into the Pomona Arts Colony. And it's happening elsewhere too. It's because a bunch of planners and engineers and designers and academics adopted a cluster of slumlord apartments in South Pomona called Angela Chancellor, and is turning that into a neighborhood where people can actually learn and live and raise families. So I have seen the kind of potential you all have. I know the caliber of people this college produces. I have incredibly high expectations for all of you. In fact, I have an unshakable faith that each and every one of you has a tremendous contribution to make. So let's celebrate today. You have persevered. You have challenged yourself and found new talents, developed new skills. You have drawn strength and wisdom from the friends and families that believe in you. And you have accomplished so much we can't help but feel happy for you. But let us also cheer just a little bit for the future you promise us as well. Your job is to improve the world we all live in. Make it healthier, more inspired, more prosperous, more fun, more empowered, more human, and more humane. We are excited about the spaces and the images and the relationships you will weave around us, and the challenges you will help us overcome, and the optimism you and your field shares so generously. I can't begin to imagine exactly where you're taking us all, or what the world will be like when we all get there. But I'm looking forward to seeing it thanks to you all. Thanks so much, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Ed. I would now like to call upon Vice President Tomas Morales to present the candidates for master's degree. Vice President Morales.
Will the candidates for the Master of Urban and Regional Planning, Master of Landscape Architecture, and Master of Architecture please rise? President Suzuki, I present to you the candidates for the Master of Urban and Regional Planning, Master of Landscape Architecture, and Master of Architecture. These candidates have completed the requirements for the master's degree as prescribed by the State of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have been recommended by the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona.
Candidates for the master's degree, you have heard the recommendation of the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. By the authority vested in me as president, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Urban and Regional Planning, Master of Landscape Architecture, and Master of Architecture with all the rights, honors, and opportunities appertaining thereto. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Art in Art, Bachelor of Science in Urban and Regional Planning, Bachelor of Science in Landscape Architecture, and Bachelor of Architecture. Please rise. President Suzuki, I present to you the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the College of Environmental Design. These candidates have completed the requirements for the baccalaureate degree as prescribed by the State of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have been recommended for their degrees by the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona.
Candidates for the baccalaureate degree, you have heard the recommendation of the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. By the authority vested in me as president, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Art in Art, Bachelor of Science in Urban and Regional Planning, Bachelor of Science in Landscape Architecture, Bachelor of Architecture, and with all the rights, honors, and opportunities appertaining thereto. Congratulations. We aren't finished yet. In academic tradition, the student who has not yet earned a degree wears a tassel on the mortarboard on the right side. When the degree is conferred, the scholar moves the tassel to the left and joins a select company. In recognition of your new status, will all recipients of the baccalaureate degree move the tassel to the left?
Would all students please be seated? We will now ask those receiving degrees to come forward by department. First, we will read the names of the master's degree candidates, and they will be hooded. Once all master's degree candidates in the major have been recognized, the bachelor's degree candidates will come forward. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in art please come forward, and the department chair, Babette Mayer, please join us on stage. Excuse me. No, I said the bachelor's degree, right? Yeah, bachelor's. Bachelor's degree students, please. Come on. Good. Thank you. No, it's...
Susan Shishan Lin.
Christina Cho.
Michael Lynn Kamsey.
Joshua Patrick Baker.
Xuan Yen Nguyen.
Mario Joseph Colombini.
Victor Tarak.
Fabiola De La Rocha.
Derwin Edson Fong.
Carrie Lau.
Oliver Mercado Carrion.
Jack Howe.
Tu V Fan.
Teresa Yen.
Thomas Q Tron.
Ji-sun Min.
Margaret Liu.
Jane Kim.
Derek C. M.
Kristen Nam.
Lucia Shum.
Virginia Wei Chin Chen.
Shin Ying Chui.
Scott Andrew Crawford.
Alisa Supsin.
Suzanne Yvonne Back.
Eva Gonzalez.
Sean Michael Meek.
James Matthew Lopez.
Wilfredo Manzano.
Victor Wynn.
Craig Stephen Hendricks.
Emily Au.
Jillian Marie Gomez.
Francis Mann.
Y. M. Chick.
Carly Chow.
Raymond Sin Wong.
Kevin Tran.
Leonardo Popovic.
Han Voon.
Lawrence Yip.
Meng Tang.
Kit Ting Chan.
Eddie K. Min.
Anna Chen.
Joel Hernandez.
Sydney Tinglock Sito.
Carl Summerlin.
Svet Fan Cherry Chan.
Ron Tatum.
Francis Yoy Yan Chan.
Michael Navarro Magaling.
Portia W. Tam.
Stephen Kosaka.
Kwan Amy Tran.
Mark Morkos.
Susan Lee.
George Wahib Mikhail.
Robin O.
Seth Robert Cable.
Jackson Z.
Travis Valente Black. Johnny Wong. Juan Ramirez. Shafi Mohammed. Rudy Aaron Rico. Jason Anthony Baldridge, magna cum laude. Lucia Lee. Gopi Patel. Jennifer Paano de Leon. Catherine Ronquillo. Janice Tria. Cheryl Costasus. Russell James Thompson. Erin Nicole Sutter, cum laude. Oscar Adrian Aguirre. John M. Shiroma. Jason Nagai. Peter Gobriel. Johnny William Baldere. Juan Thorpe, magna cum laude. Maverick J. Velasco. David Yan, cum laude. Joyce Sadweste. Anne Hong, cum laude. Jennifer Yuka Ogasawara. Elizabeth Fugiura. David Chan. Chen Ying Yang.
This concludes the presentation of the Bachelor of Art candidates. We will now proceed with the graduates of the Urban and Regional Planning program. Will the candidates for the Master of Urban and Regional Planning please come forward, and will the Acting Chair, Anna Maria Whitaker, and Graduate Coordinator, Herschel Farborough, join us on stage.
Sonia Vianida Robles. Ramon Tanasupon. Starla Hack. Christina Louise Wilson. Donald Noel Hagstrom II. Hiroshi Kawanamura. Taba Vanderswag.
This concludes the presentation of the Master of Urban and Regional Planning candidates. We will now recognize students who are candidates for the Bachelor of Urban and Regional Planning.
Denny Tseng.
Danielle Brianne Piper.
Paul Rodriguez.
Robert Jacob Gould.
Ignacio Rincon Jr.
Rima Chakra.
Aldo Cervantes.
Vikram Jadhav.
Joyce Kusuma.
Arnold Rascon.
Anna McBride.
Hector Razo.
Adam Leong Gulick.
Nora Corona Hernandez.
Elizabeth Ann Armandares.
Antonio Castillo. Jake John Wire. Christopher Tracy. Matthew Thomas Marquez. Salvador N. Quintanilla. Craig Michael Christina. Andrea Lynn O'Kane. Rebecca Otten. Barbara Elizabeth Osborne. Robert Lawrence Meinert. Larry Lee Jaramillo. Marla Yvette Sterling Griffin. Mary Bell Aldana.
This concludes the presentation of the Bachelor of Urban and Regional Planning candidates. Will the candidates for the master's degree in landscape architecture please come forward, and the department chair Phil Pregel and the graduate coordinator Joan Woodward join us on stage.
It shows.
We'll see.
Yeah,
So far,
we'll see.
so good.
Anne Elizabeth Leishman. Charles Hamilton Straughter. Darren Andre. Melissa Ann Brise. Amy Bonna Hoffman. William Sheldon Cameron. Jason Langer Eric. Jeremy Laurel Pearson. Takayuki Sato. Lori Lou Pullman. James Clifford Chaddick. John Christians Loxley. Jean DiSabatino. Miriam Anna Charlotte Herman. Edward Anthony Anaya. John D. Simpson.
This concludes the presentation of the Master of Landscape Architecture candidates. We will now recognize students who are candidates for the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture.
Lloyd David Booth.
Mark Anthony Nazareno Perez.
Jared Ryan Bauman.
Jaime Macias.
Jonathan David Denler.
Nathan Mann Cree.
Benjamin Allen Camp.
Mike Kent Gilman.
Brian Garrett Ide.
Oscar Rincon.
Jared Collins Anderson, magna cum laude.
Patricia Alice Lirachison.
Laura Ann McLaren, magna cum laude.
Kanako Taguchi.
Monica Laura Means.
Danielle Marie Davenport, magna cum laude.
Daniel Roberto Abrate.
Mindy Ann Austin.
Leopoldo Avaitla.
Erin Michelle Mitchell.
Maya Nicole Champion.
Annette Evans.
Leticia Garcia.
Jessica Megan Humphreys. Armin Yusefians. Sylvia Rivas. Robert David Hahn. Martins Zinbergs. Brian Joseph Bartholomew.
This concludes the presentation of the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture candidates. We will now proceed with the graduates of the architecture program. Will the candidates for the master's degree in architecture please come forward, and the department chair Judith Shine and the graduate coordinator Art Hacker please join us on stage. Not quite. Here come the students. That's, you possibly, yeah. I'll hold them while you hang.
Yukiko Shimada. Yoshifumi Yamaguchi. Brian Kenneth Meister. Azusa Kotsu. Jaime Olmos. Alvin Shee. Luisa Fernanda Cerón. Claudia Emelina Lopez Ortiz. Michelle Hoi Shan Lee.
This concludes the presentation of the Master of Architecture candidates. We will now recognize students who are candidates for the Bachelor of Architecture.
Nicole Lynn Owens. Pamela Jean Quattrochi. Gladys Olero Colobong. Trisha Don Hamashi.
Malik Seli Diallo.
Scott Huntat Ho.
Geronimo Zarazua Jr.
Marin Marie Marsato.
Ruth Torres.
Sheena Francesca Fasto.
Ian Lee Merker.
Renee Don Yarmi.
Dong Wan Yun.
Leif Ivar Jensen.
Zermaine Aline Caradelvai.
Donald Lee Winstead Jr.
Carol Ann Whitehead.
Carol Elizabeth Armero.
Louis Martinez Jr. Jeanette Anna Marie Olafson.
Jessica Amber Logerberg. Homer Tuong Bernal.
Michael Lingat Concepcion.
Rosa Idalia Cisneros.
Tofi Kitty Sathanon.
Andrew Morillo Rason.
Juan Francisco Franco.
John T. Min Dong.
Leanne Popoff.
Jason Thomas Huss.
Rod Kulki.
Brian Paul Harrison.
Gerardo Sandoval.
Casey Andrew Coulter.
Barbara Esperanza Perez.
Jeffrey Adam Bakurin.
Rogelio Perez.
Wilfredo Rufino Francisco Jr.
Jorge Luis Garcia.
Michael Angelo Herrera Dizon.
Thomas Balderas.
Leo Romano Gutierrez.
Dennis Valencia.
Diane Nguyen.
Felipe Cazares.
Nok T. Tran.
Pastor Jose Juarez.
Bo Juan Chim.
Andrea Elizabeth Ruelas.
Sabina Lira.
Giovanni Francisco Hernandez.
Amy Marie Nickerson.
Julio Cesar Preciado, magna cum laude.
Dan Min Nguyen. Clifford C. Wang. Hugo Ventura. Jason T. Kim. Mabel Wailon Chong.
No such luck. No. That concludes the presentation of the Bachelor of Architecture candidates. Again, our congratulations and very best wishes to all of our graduates for the class of 2003.
Will the entire class of 2003 please rise? Audience, please join me in congratulating the College of Environmental Design Class of 2003. Please be seated. All of us here owe a debt of gratitude to the parents, husbands, wives, partners, and other significant family members who have encouraged and in many cases sacrificed to make it possible for these graduates to come to the university. We salute them and ask them to stand for a well-deserved round of applause. Thank you. Please be seated. As we bring this ceremony to a close, I wish to welcome you as our newest alumni and invite you to join the Cal Poly Pomona Alumni Association. As you practice your profession, you will frequently work on teams that include alumni from other departments in the college, as well as members of the Cal Poly Pomona family from other colleges. Please keep connected with one another and with us. This day is a marker in your growth as a person. You have gained knowledge and skills while studying here, but we also hope that your judgment has been refined and your capacity for empathy and understanding has been increased. Please take a moment, graduates, to shake the hand of your neighbor and congratulate them on their accomplishment. As members of the class of 2003, you will shape the future of our visual language, our buildings, our city spaces, and the natural environment. Go forth, do good work, and care for one another. Will the audience please remain seated during the recessional? At the conclusion of the faculty recessional, our 2003 commencement will be formally concluded. I would like to invite you to join us for refreshments at the W.K. and Janet Kellogg Art Gallery and in Building 7, where exemplary examples of our student work is on display. Thank you for being with us.
Yes. You want me to make an announcement? We get that Robin Rocco. Remember Robin from Diamond Ranch? You're not supposed to be in. I love it, yes.
Once we get that rope folded up and all that kind of stuff, come on down. We need to reset the graduate. Thank you, Dave. The start time on the next one.
8 o'clock. Under the lights. Yes.